Hey guys, how you doing? Mike, New York Magnum here. Thank you for tuning in. This video is pretty much going to be an update on the Beretta. My Beretta is seeing 920 rounds. I wanted to do this video when I hit 1,000 rounds, but me obtaining that goal right now is going to be out of the question. In the last video, I've stated that I'm unemployed, and what I'm getting now from unemployment and what I have saved is going to be covering my rent and financing my armed guard classes. And I still need some supplies. I only have 2 magazines. I'm going to need an extra 2 at least to make it 4 magazines, and I need a duty holster. Let me put this down for a second. The duty holster I'm going to be getting, excuse me. The duty holster I'm going to be getting is a Safariland 3280 mid-ride military holster. It's a holster that could be adapted to any type of weapon light that you want. I'm also going to buy a drop leg for it, simply for the fact that I'm a fat man. So on the draw, sometimes the stomach could get in the way. So a drop leg, not going to, have it all the way down to my knee, but just drop it enough that I could draw a little more comfortably. Those of you who are heavy-set men, you kind of understand what I'm talking about. Okay. Before we go on, for any safety sallies out there, there's no ammunition in this firearm. Okay, so it's fine. So, there have been no malfunctions with this weapon. It's been running like a champ. Okay. The only time I actually experienced a problem was due to user error. And what will happen is that as I grip the gun and I'm pressed out, okay, and I apologize if I'm getting out of frame. This is the first time I'm standing and shooting a video at the same time, and I press out, okay, sometimes the pad of my hand will ride the slide lock and will not lock back the slide on the last round. That's completely user error. That's not on the gun. Alright, so what I have done to the gun is just small little cosmetic things. When I changed the red safety, I don't know how well it's showing up on camera. My lighting sucks right now. But I changed it to green on both sides for my love of zombie green. And then what I'm going to do is, this is one problem that I've been having is prolonged shooting. My hands get sweaty and this gun starts to move around a little too much for my taste. So what I'm getting is a pair of VZ golf ball grips in green to match the green dot. Yes, I'm cheesy that way. So I'm going to be getting rid of these. Put them off to the side and hold them just in case. What I have also done is I have blacked out the rear sight. I just took a Sharpie marker and colored out those 2 white dots to leave just the front white dot. The reason why I've done that is because, one, I wear prescription glasses. I know people who don't wear prescription glasses also have the same problem. But when I'm pointing out and trying to line up my sights, my eyes get very confused. I can't differentiate between the back and rear sight. Okay, so what I've done to help me with that, and it's helped greatly, is that just take a Sharpie marker, black out those 2, and you have a blacked out rear sight. Now, those of you who miss the dot and post sight, if you take your Berettas, the dot and post sight on the M9 pistols, if you look at your Beretta, if you black out those 2 dots, there's actually the post is still there in the sight. So all you have to do is just take white enamel paint and color in that post, and you'll have the stacking the snowmen sight like the Beretta M9s were. So if you missed that sight, just look at it, you'll see what I'm talking about. So physically, how the gun's holding up. Well, there's a little scratching here and there, but those are battle scars. Makes the gun sexier to me. There are some parts of the gun that is wearing out, finish-wise. Break this down. I'm also going to be changing this into a stainless steel guide rod. Apparently it improves accuracy, and I just really don't like plastic on guns. As you can see with the barrel, there's some finish. The finishes are very rubbing off, which is to be expected. Also on the locking block, I apologize for the light, but you have some here in the locking block. The barrel has been holding up well itself. A lot of people have been getting the finish rubbing off right over here due to the slide. That has not happened to me yet, thank God. It's holding up very well, but I'm pretty sure once I get probably another 1,000 rounds, this spot will start to wear. I make sure this spot and the slide where it's contact at that part has enough oil. The back is also experiencing finish wear right around the firing pin. Also on the slide, this could be hard for you guys to see. It's very minute, but there is evidence of chipping of the finish right here in the back. There's evidence of chipping. There's nothing major, it's just friction that's causing it. It's not anywhere apparent on the actual slide, but it's been holding up well. The safety and decocker is very well broken in now. It flips on and off a lot easier than what it really was out of the box. I still have yet not to actuate the safety. Have yet to do it. Okay. I think it's just from all the years of me shooting a Beretta since I was a kid that I pretty much know how to work this slide without actuating the safety down. The one complaint I do have about power stroking this firearm is the sight itself. It's not dehorned. It's very sharp corners, so if you power stroke, through a few mags, you're going to be beating up your hand, all right? It's just so abrasive, it's not even funny. A lot of people think it's because of the open slide design that you'll pinch your hand. That's not what's going to get you. What's going to get you is this rear sight, okay? Which I thought about changing out the rear sight. I could get from Beretta some Novak sights. But I decided not to do it because the sight is tall, okay, that I can actually work my firearm off a belt, off a holster, off a table, off of any support for one-hand manipulation. So I decided not to do it and just man up and beat my hand to death, get more callus on my hand, and that won't be a problem. But for those of you who, especially you women out there that are looking to fire this Beretta, you're going to be beating up your hands, so probably wearing gloves will be a good idea. The rest of the firearm is holding up pretty well. The hammer is experiencing some finish issues where it contacts the firing pin, but that's pretty much it. I gotta clean this gun a little bit more. I missed a few things. Anyway, the gun's holding up very, very, very well. It's been very reliable. I'm really impressed. I love Berettas to begin with, so I know what they're capable of. Don't get me wrong, I love Glocks. My only complaint of a Glock is that it's just too light in my hands. It drives me nuts. But I'll be getting a Glock soon, hopefully. The other thing I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be changing out the spring here in the mainspring housing. I'm going to be inputting a Wolf 18-pound spring. Okay. Originally, I was very against of modifying out the springs, but the double action. Now, let me put this pistol back together. The double action on this gun is not bad. It's a very smooth double action. It is heavy, do not get me wrong. It's a very, very heavy double action. But because it's so smooth, you really, really don't hate it as much as other guns. Okay, so let me get a snap cap here. Just a little side note. Most of you know already, piece of brass will make a great snap cap. In my opinion, 99% of the snap caps on the market are crap. The only snap caps that I've come across that I like, and I haven't picked up a set yet, is Tipton snap caps. The A-zooms and the one with the silicone firing pin and stuff like not firing pin, primer. Those things are crap. If you're gonna get snap caps, get Tiptons. Okay. If not, use a piece of brass that's all over the place. So the double action is very, very smooth. Okay. Smooth. And then obviously cycle the gun. Hold on a second. Cycle the gun. Let me put the snap cap back in. The reset's great. And then follow up. So like I said, the double action is smooth. It's heavy, not that heavy to me initially, but after 200 rounds of practicing going from double to single, my finger gets tired. Okay, so a lot of people have been telling me, and a lot of people on YouTube have been saying, if you switch it to the 18 pound, it lightens up this double action enough where your finger does not get tired from the shooting double action. Okay, the factory spring is a 20 pound spring. So those of you who are looking to lighten up your trigger pull of your Beretta without actually messing around with the trigger, just switch out the mainspring housing to an 18 pounder. Any lighter, you're going to start suffering from light primer strikes. So I don't recommend a lighter spring. And that's pretty much it. I haven't got a weapon light for it yet. I'm working on that also. But I've been completely happy with this gun. Another thing, real quick, those of you who are contemplating of carrying this gun on safe, okay, which is safety down, right in the holster, it is possible for you to do so. Okay, it just depends on the size of your hands. Now bear with me for a minute. Let me see if I could try to get into position to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I have safety down. If you get a high grip going and you just cock back your thumb a little bit, as you're pressing out, you have the ability to flick your thumb forward and actuate the safety. Actually, if your hands are big enough, you can actually turn the safety back on. See, my hands are big enough that I could flip the safety on and then flip it back on. This is a little hard to do from this position, but I could actuate the safety with my thumb. So it is possible when you draw to press out, flip the safety on, and pull. So I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry if this was pretty boring, but this is pretty much how my Beretta is doing right now. Like I said, I love this gun. Hopefully the mods that I'll be doing to it, which is just the grips and the spring and the mainspring housing, lightening that up to 18 pounds, will make this gun even better. Those of you who are looking into Berettas, I believe they're great guns. It really depends on what you want to use for. For me, this is going to be a duty gun as an arm guard. I don't mind the weight carrying it. I don't mind the weight when I press out. It's a big beefy gun for a lot of people, but it fills my hand beautifully. So the weight, the size, the double action, single action does not bother me one bit. So if you're in the same boat as me, a Beretta is a great way to go. If you can't afford a SIG. I had to say it. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in. Remember to practice and preach safe firearm handling wherever you go. And it is our duty to educate the uneducated. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the work week and your weekend. Hopefully you get some shooting done. See you next time.